A good pal to its friends, an ogre to its enemies. This is the way American Motors defined Gremlin. AMC's resources were limited in the effort to combat the forthcoming subcompacts from Ford and GM. The clock was ticking before the 71 Pinto and Vega would arrive, and AMC was determined to be the first to market with a US subcompact. AMC Chief of Design Richard Teague and stylist Bob Nixon began development of a subcompact car based on an existing platform in 1966. The initial results were the AMX GT concept car, based on the Javelin. The Javelin provided the AMX concept car with a low sleek profile, but it was decided the upcoming Hornet would be a more practical basis for the new subcompact. As it turns out, the AMX designation would eventually be used for other AMC offerings. The Gremlin was essentially a truncated Hornet, and shared most body components from the B-pillar forward. Wheelbase was reduced by 12 inches, overall length by 18. This early ad features the rare 2-seat model, with fixed rear glass. Most buyers opted for the more well-optioned 4-seat model, featured here with fold-down rear seat and optional rear lift-up glass. 3.3 and 3.8-liter inline sixes were the initial engine offerings. A 5-liter V8 was added for $72. For 1971, the 3.8-liter was made standard, and a 4.2-liter 6 was made optional. The combination of economy and unique styling was a hit with both consumers and the press. And the quirky little car from Kenosha was soon a common sight on North American roads. Gremlin interiors were well equipped and could be optioned with features normally unavailable in the subcompact class. The Gremlin X package debuted in 1971. It added tape stripes, color-keyed fascia, and slotted road wheels. The 5-liter V8 was newly available for 1972, as well as other options including tilt steering and AM/FM radio. The X package continued to be very popular and was available in an array of bright color options. A new buyer protection plan was introduced that featured a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty, an industry first at the time. An ever-increasing array of options kept the Gremlin very competitive with other subcompact models. AMC's unconventional little car was a big hit.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time.
Hi. You hungry? Looking for a tempting treat? Hold on till I absorb some heat. Some added tang might please you too. I'll slide into an oven-fresh bun, and I'm ready for your eating fun.
Why don't you try a juicy good hot dog? Delicious.
For 1973, the X package received revised tape stripes, and all models were fitted with reinforced bumpers. The new Levi's interior featured spun nylon rather than actual denim due to fire safety regulations, but the look was convincing. Sales for the 1973 model were up 30%, likely bolstered by Gremlin's top rating among 6 subcompacts by Consumer Reports. This success reflects AMC's efforts at the time to reduce its range of models and complexity, and to focus on quality improvement. In addition to its hometown of Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Gremlin was also assembled in Brampton, Ontario, as well as Mexico City. The Gremlin was produced on the same line as its platform mate, the Hornet. The shared components greatly reduced manufacturing complexity and contributed to better overall quality. Changes for 1974 included a revised front fascia and new 5-mile-per-hour bumpers. Tape stripes were also again revised. The oil embargo created even greater demand for small cars, and Gremlin sales were up 130% over 1971. Despite the increased pace, AMC continued to work hard to maintain quality to prevent expensive warranty claims. The unique exterior colors and interior choices continue to be a huge draw. Featured here are the Fairway and Levi's interior trim options. They are but a few examples of the colorful design details of a bygone era. Electronic ignition and a switch to unleaded fuel were the big changes for 1975. Catalytic converters were now standard. The Gremlin was now 6 model years old and becoming less competitive by the day. With all of AMC's efforts focused on the launch of the radical new Pacer, very little resources were left for the Gremlin. But it would continue on for a few more years. Built with pride by the people of AMC. 1976 brought a few changes, including a revised front end and optional tape stripes that separated aft of the rear doors. It is interesting to note that 1976 was the only year for this front end treatment. The Levi's trim continued to be available and remained a very popular option. A new custom trim level debuted for 1976 and featured special striped fabric and a spare tire cover. The custom trim level could also be ordered with the optional hockey stick rally stripe. The 4.0-liter inline-6 remained standard, while the 4.26 and the 5-liter V8 were optional. Changes for 1977 were surprisingly extensive, with completely revised bodywork from the A-pillars forward. The rear featured larger taillights and tailgate. The fuel filler was now hidden behind the license plate. More standard features were added, and the interior trim options remained as colorful and diverse as ever. 1978 was the final model year for Gremlin, and it did receive several notable revisions. The Audi-designed 2-liter 4-cylinder, introduced in '77, remained available as an economical option to the standard 6. Few people chose the 4-cylinder as it was low on torque, and even slight inclines proved problematic. The instrument panel was redesigned and actually borrowed from the Concorde. The optional wood-tone trim was surprisingly convincing for the time. The Levi's interior and X-Package combination continued to be a very popular choice. Door trim panels were neatly detailed and echoed the Levi's theme. An optional extra quiet sound insulation package subdued road noise, and new blacked-out trim was standard with the X-Package. A GT package was made available mid-year. It featured new details, such as a front spoiler, unique tape stripes, and fender flares. The 4.2-liter 6 was standard. Now, 9 model years old, and facing far more modern competition, the unique little Gremlin would at last be retired. The story of Gremlin is the story of AMC Motors, a small, scrappy little guy that is willing to fight to survive. Resources and abilities may be limited, but rest assured, it always gave its best, which is more than you can say of some of the giants it did battle with.